Hello again. We are Chris Lee, Blake Lovell, and Max Barr of Southeastern 14 here to do a little SEC fantasy draft. This is the third week we've done this. Have a lot of fun with it. Gives you a little insight into who in the league is doing what, all that sort of stuff. Before we get there, reminder, it is playoff time in the NFL. The road to Vegas has gone through San Francisco and Baltimore. BetOnline is your number one source for playoff football odds, stats, trends, and lines with everything from point spreads to hundreds of player performance props. Head to BetOnline today. Stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, this is how it works. Max, I'll have you pull up the scoreboard. We draft players. We'll show the scoring system in a minute. We do a draft where whoever picks first in the first round picks last in the second round. Whoever picks last in the first round picks first in the second round. In other words, a snake draft. Blake Lovell, you're the most eloquent of us here, I think. I'll have you explain what happened last week.
I'm sure that's why you want me to explain what happened last week. I'm sure that's why.
Of course.
Listen, I said life is all about risk, okay? I took a risk on Big Z. I said, let's not act like I didn't say it. I said, I realize the risk I'm taking in picking him because I have no idea how many minutes he's going to play, but let's feed into the hysteria, okay? Somebody had to do it. If I wouldn't have done it, go ahead, Max, admit, you were going to take him. Were you
I
not?
was.
So two of us understood that it was time to buy into the Big Z hype, all right? And let me guess, Chris never considered him. Of course he didn't, because after the fact, he's, going to look like a genius. But yes, the Big Z decision certainly did not help my team's rankings. The other thing that did not help my team's rankings was the fact that Chris complained his way to the number one pick, and he happened to get Janai Broome on a week where, he puts up an all-time scoring record here in our fantasy league. So, again, let's all call it what it is here. The fact is, through 2 weeks of this, if you pick first, you're winning. That's what this comes down to. There's no strategy. There's no skill. It's just whoever gets to pick first is going to win because they're getting, the dominant player. So that's all I have to say about. Let's move on to the following. Let's move to this week now. No one cares about the previous week. Okay.
What I will say though is Blake picked first week 1 and he won, but it wasn't because of his first pick. It was because of one of his last picks. So.
Well, I don't recall that,
but Janai Broome with 63 is a new record, a single game record, and then 106 is a full week record. So Chris gets a record performance from Broome, and it was never really close. If you're wondering how we score it, this is how we score it. 3s are valued the most, then 2s, but you don't want to miss because the more you miss, the more you lose points. And then defensive numbers are big: steals, blocks.
No, they're not. Rebounds should be more. I just want to put that. I'm putting an official protest in with the commissioner, Max Barr, that next season rebounds should count for more than 1.
This was taken from ESPN scoring system. It was not made up, but we do have a few complaints, and I will talk to the Kangaroo Court and see if the higher ups approve. But we have to move on to this week. Let's do our.
Oh, no, we don't just yet. First of all, I hear a lot of. I don't hear a few complaints. I hear a lot of complaints. Second of all, if you could have cloned Janai Broome and put him on Blake's team instead of Big Z, Max, do you know what would have happened? Blake still would have lost to me. So let's just call it what it is.
Oh gosh.
Well, that's okay. That's not how it works. Okay,
it's unpleasant. Is what it is.
That's not how it works. Anyways,
we have a draft order to figure out. This is how I do it. I just go on this randomizer list thing and I hit randomize. Yes.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing, is what this is.
Let's go.
What a total joke of a randomizer this was.
Me, Chris, then Blake.
This is like the NFL. It's rigged.
Important to remember this week there are 2 teams that only play once. That would be Texas A&M and LSU. Last week we had a few players there. We had Jordan Wright, Wade Taylor, and Radford. I've had Wade Taylor both times, picking him first with my first picks, but this time I will go with none other than Mr. Vacuum, Mr. Broome. Give me Janai.
There's a tough call there.
I knew that was going to happen. I would also be completely shocked if the top 3 that we all have are any different. I think we all know where the top 3 are going. So it's just a matter of me taking that guy to leave Blake with what's standing. I will take Mark Sears.
Oh boy, I was not expecting that. Well. I was not expecting that. Dalton Knecht.
Yep. Blake, you're up again.
Oh no. Well, this is where we get bogged down.
I think this is a good week to pick at the turn, honestly.
I'm just going to do it. Because I don't want to take too long on my picks because you guys, just are not nice to me when I do that. But actually, I am going to take my time here for 1 second to try to make sure I've got this. Do I go back to him? Because he's been pretty consistent. And so he's kind of been a rock, yeah. Whew. I mean, he only had that many points, and yet he still racked up a ton of good things there. Yeah, I'm going to go Tre Mitchell again. He's been pretty consistent for me, man. Like, he really has. He's been the most consistent player the past 2 weeks for me. So give me Tre Mitchell.
Do you want him at your second forward or at your flex?
Give me, we'll decide later, but just put him at the other forward spot for now.
Okay.
All right, that was my pick. So I'm not surprised you did it. You had him last week. He did well for you. And I'm going to go back to the well again. This guy did okay for me last week. He's got 2 home games. Matt Morrell.
Matt Morrell.
Well, I already know who Max is picking here.
Yep. Give me Reeves.
I thought you were going to take him, Chris. I thought you would take Antonio Reeves, but
nope. You're on the turn.
Okay, now this is where I've got a guard and a forward, and I need to know which one do I lean into. Yeah. I'm pulling a Chris. Give me Reed Sheppard.
I knew. See, I should have kept my mouth shut because I thought you were going to say Reed Sheppard, and I thought I could get him later.
Oh, too bad.
That hurts a little bit. I've had him 2 weeks in a row. All right. Well.
All right. Come on.
That's all right. I'll take Jonas.
Because I'm ready for my next pick. I'm ready because I'm about to win this fantasy league this week with this next pick. It's time. Come on, Chris. Don't do it.
I just told you my pick.
Who?
Jonas Aidoo.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
I didn't hear that at all. I heard him say someone else. That's what I heard. I think he's lying. I think he just remembered when I started doing that I was going to pick Jonas Aidoo, and so I think we should take that pick off the board.
I'll have to talk to the Kangaroo Court, and we'll come up with a decision.
It's completely unfair. I maybe should have taken him over Tre Mitchell, but that's okay.
Always complaining, this man.
I'll wait. All right. Well, in that case, I'm screwed. Well, that makes things a little bit more difficult here because I was completely set on getting Mr. Aidoo. But since it is setting up really well for this guy with 2 home games this week, a revenge game involved, didn't play as well in the revenge game last time, but now he gets the revenge game on his own court. And he was a big scorer last week. Give me Alan Flanagan.
Yep.
So now we got Knecht, Mitchell, Flanagan. And now let me pull up and see who I'm forgetting. Oh, I know exactly who I'm forgetting.
I bet I know who you're taking next.
How on earth did this guy go this long without being
off.
picked? I can't believe this guy made it this far, but it was all in my strategy. Yes, I'm going back to the well yet again with another guy, just because I think that when you look at the way this thing unfolds, I mean, I feel like we gotta pick him. Like he should not be this far down. I know he had a bit of a down week last week. What were individual game scores? Yeah, boy, he had a bad game. It's because it's his free throw numbers are really what's bringing him down. What's he shooting from the line now?
He's not good from a line.
I know who he's taking.
I get nervous about picking him because his free throw shooting, what is it, -1 for free throws? Or is it -2?
-1.
-1.
He could miss so many. What did he only scored? Oh, he had 4 turnovers. That's why he probably didn't have a lot of points. And the rebounding stuff just maddening. Got in foul trouble. Gosh, but that was and they're 2 away games. So, can you really rely? Last week I went to Kentucky and you couldn't rely. Two away games. I think
Have you
it's
heard so much
picky.
hedging in your life?
It's really picky.
I know who you're going to pick. Just say it.
Chris, calm down.
I know exactly who you're going to pick.
Calm down. There's no reason to get, upset here. Yes, we all know we're excited for the E-Bob, but let's just calm down for a minute. Okay? Now, am I forgetting anyone before I do make this pick? I feel like just law of average.
Who was the one that lectured us all about taking their sweet time before we started this video?
Law of averages.
These are important.
They are important. Exactly. So to me, though, it does suggest that this will come back to where it needs to come back to. But I did forget about this guy. He's got a great opportunity this week. And boy, does this guy rack up some steals, some assists. He scores. He makes threes. He can do a little bit of everything. And he's going to be out there for a lot of games. So rather than me taking a chance on Mr. Tolu Smith, who really let me down last week, I am instead going to go with a team that could be playing in a pretty high-scoring game on Saturday in Lexington. No. I am loading up on the Tennessee Volunteers. Give me Mr. Zakai Zeigler.
Once you switched your mind, I knew exactly.
That's not what I thought you were going to do.
Well, I don't know who you're taking.
I don't think we're thinking the same thing here. There was a guy I was hoping you were not going to say his name because this is who I want. I'm doubling down on the Crimson Tide. Give me Grant Nelson.
Ooh.
For my second forward.
Mel Kiper Jr. may not be too high on that pick. We'll see.
Hey, I feel like a light clicked on with him last week. I feel like he got the message from his coach.
He had no threes. He had 1 steal. He had 1 assist. On
people.
How much do dunks count for?
14
Are dunks
points.
10 points? Dunks don't count extra, Chris. Did you
when you go backwards like that, you double them. It's 28 points.
Dunks don't count extra. What are you doing? Just kidding. Grant Nelson, I think you're great.
All right. I wanted Zeigler bad.
Just take the guy you knew I was going to take. Just come on. He's going to be fine. He misses free throws, but it's okay. Like, you have to take him.
Give me Tolu.
I don't know why Chris didn't take him. I thought that was Chris going to think back on that one when he loses.
Well, I did think about it, but 2 road games. And we know how Mississippi State plays on the road.
One more. And I have a sneaky guy I might go with.
Max, remember the last time you got sneaky? What happened?
Yeah.
Remember what happened to your team the last time you got a little too cute. So be careful.
Because I have a sneaky guy that I just want to jump all over. His matchups are brutal. Okay. Gosh, this is such a big pick too, because the last pick, if he only gets 14 each time, I'm not winning. Wade Taylor could put up like 75 in one game.
He could. You're not wrong about that. Like, we debate this, but Wade Taylor is the one that I think he's got Florida at home on Saturday.
Could put
Florida's
up 85.
defense is not good at times. That's a high-scoring game potentially.
It is. Is there anyone I'm just glaringly missing right now?
I don't think so. I think the board at this point is when you take a Jordan Wright out, you take a Wade Taylor out, a potential Henry Coleman, Radford. We've picked a pretty good group here.
I think I'm gonna go with someone. They do play on the road this week. but he doesn't lose any points.
I know who you're taking.
Give me Zyon Pullin.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were taking.
Chris, you think you know what everybody's taking. You're over on predictions.
Well, I bet that might be a better pick even than what I was thinking he was going to do. He said 2 road games, and I thought you were going to take Cam Matthews.
No, he doesn't turn the ball over. He's consistent.
You said, did we miss somebody? I think you guys missed somebody. And this is the pick that's going to win me the competition this week. This man scores points. He's got Arkansas at home, and he goes to Vandy. My son, who does his own little draft with our leftovers, he's 9. He watches SEC basketball religiously, was sitting on the way, waiting for the bus in our driveway this morning, imitating this guy's free throws and said, Dad, please don't pick this guy because I want him. But this is competition, boys. You can even disappoint your son in the spirit of competition. I'm taking Sean East.
Sean East.
I like Sean East, but
he's got Arkansas and at Vandy.
All right, so it's my final pick, right?
Yep.
So I can pretty much do any. It's a flex spot essentially, right? Because I have 2 guards and all right, so Big Z, I think you're great, but I just can't do it this week. I got 2 Tennessee players. I got an Ole Miss player. Who was my other pick?
Tre Mitchell.
Oh yeah, Kentucky.
Have you had Tre Mitchell every week? Or did I have him the first week?
Absolutely. I've had him every week.
Supporting Tre Mitchell.
He's the only constant on my team. So I feel like I need to. Alabama's got some just potentially sloppy matchups at Georgia, home against Mississippi State. Worries me a little bit about that. But
they did just put up 109.
That's the thing. And if he hits 5 threes, or he hits a
I know who you're
9,
taking.
the way that he did last week, it's worth the points, right? So, and I do say right, pun intended.
Oh.
All right. So obviously, I don't have to. I can say my players because you guys don't get to pick, so I can debate this out loud right now. Yep. So Latrell Wrightsell is one of those for sure, as Max said. Because if he makes shots from 3, I mean, he's an automatic. I mean, that's 25 points right there just on 5 threes, right? So, I mean, that could be game, set, match on its own. I think Jalen Williams is going to have a bounce back sort of week, but
yeah.
The only issue there is they do get Vanderbilt at home though. So that could be worth it. All right, so we're down to Wrightsell, Jalen Williams, and let me just make sure there's not another guy I'm forgetting.
I think there's one more guy out there that should be in the combo.
Trying to see if there's anybody left. I'm worried about Cam Matthews, even as well as he did for Chris last week. They have the 2 road games. That concerns me a little bit. So really there's no one else on the board except last week, except for Jalen Williams and PJ Mack that just probably underperformed all things considered. What about, there's another guy that I haven't looked at in a while, so give me 1 second just to make sure. See what his numbers have been.
Blake, there's a guy that just had a huge night when we were live.
I think Max and I are thinking the same thing.
Really? That's an interesting one. I'm glad you said that because I would not have probably had him up there, but that's a good point. Ooh, yeah.
Ole Miss has had 3 guards that have been super consistent. And if you take Murray, that's the 3rd. So
I'm kicking.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but the problem with that is they're playing 2 really good defensive teams this week.
They are.
Yeah.
And that's my only concern.
And I took one of them anyway. I took Morrell anyway.
Yeah, that they're playing 2 good defensive teams. That is concerning to me. So if we're just talking guys that maybe could get me the most point production value, I do think Jalen Williams is going to have a bounce back week. I think if you're just looking at it from the numbers standpoint, though, like Jalen Williams he's averaging the most points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Like 3-point percentage is as good as anybody's. Like, of the remaining group, he has the best numbers. All right, I'm gonna bank on Jalen Williams getting out of his slump. And I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me just run through final teams real quick. We got Chris, the reigning champ of last week. His guards are Mark Sears and Matt Morrell. Went with Sean East at the flex, and then as a front court of Grant Nelson and Jonas Aidoo. Blake, who won week 1, has a backcourt of Alan Flanagan and Zakai Zeigler. Flex with Jalen Williams and a front court of Tre Mitchell and Knecht. And then I, still winless, have the Kentucky backcourt, the Chris backcourt of Reeves and Sheppard. Went with Pullin as my flex and a front court of Tolu and Janai Broom. Chris, do you want to do that thing you did last time with the who got away? And
Yeah, I think that's always. So first, I'm going to make a prediction. I think this is going to be the closest week we've had yet between the three of us. I think we all drafted pretty good teams. The ones that got away, you both swiped the pick for me. I thought I could get Reed Sheppard later. I thought you guys were down on him a little bit after the inconsistency. I had him a little bit higher on my board than where I actually acted, but I thought y'all would devalue him a little bit. That didn't happen, and good for you, Max. And the other one was Tre Mitchell. Blake took him on the turn, second round. I was sitting on that one. Blake was too shrewd to let that one go. The other guys, I can't believe Tremont Mark's name didn't come up. I know Arkansas is bad, but he's been consistent. They go to Missouri. They've got Ole Miss at home. They just lost one of the guys who was one of their – I mean, I guess point guard play could sort of affect them, him not getting the ball, but it's one less mouth to feed over there.
Missed shots matter. If he's all they got, he's going to miss shots because he's going to take a lot of shots, and I think that's where the issue came in for me.
Yeah.
So.
The other one that's been sneaky is Tamar Bates.
Yeah.
Arkansas and Vandy. So those were some that I think, like, if we'd gone further, I would have pondered.
One that got snagged for me was Zeigler. I remembered him late, and I was like, oh, God, I hope he falls to me. And then Blake didn't know about him and then thinks of him last second and snags him. And then guy still on my board was Juju Murray. I took Pullin because I like Pullin's assist-to-turnover ratio, and he doesn't miss a lot of shots. So I don't think there's going to be a game where he gets a lot of points taken away from him. But at home, Juju Murray, both games, they rely on his threes. I feel like he's going to put up a lot of points from three, and I'm kind of kicking myself right now for not taking him.
My worry with him is they play two good defensive teams, as I said, and that's my only issue. I mean, we all know Aidoo got swiped from me.
Oh, yeah.
Chris understood what
a
winner is, and that's Jonas Aidoo, who is an SEC Player of the Year candidate.
He is.
Not in Chris's eyes, but in everyone else's. But Jonas Aidoo is a winner. He's a winner, and if Chris wins again this week, he's going to be why. Elsewhere, I got everybody I wanted. I got the super team assembled. I got Jalen Williams on the comeback tour. I got Alan Flanagan on the revenge tour. I got Tre Mitchell just doing Tre Mitchell things. I got Zakai Zeigler, who was out to prove that Max should have taken him earlier. And then I got the number one player in the history of Mr. James Naismith's invention, basketball, Dalton Knecht.
Well, I have Janai Broom who's going to put up 60 in a game, so I don't have to worry.
Dalton Knecht could put up 60 in a game points-wise.
He could.
And then do everything else on top of it. So that's the difference.
You were very happy I passed on him for Sears, weren't you?
Well, yeah, because if I'd have took Mark Sears, you'd have probably wished an ankle injury on him or something. I mean, then again, you'd never do that, you know?
No, never.
You know, but I mean, so yeah, I was thrilled.
We all did something that hasn't happened yet. Did you guys notice what it was?
No.
We all doubled up on teammates. Max took Reeves and Sheppard. I took Nelson and Sears, and Blake took Knecht and Zeigler. We haven't done that yet.
I wonder which team averages the most points out of all those.
I wonder which team has the most prolific scorer since Max Barr played high school basketball.
You don't want to see my shot.
All right.
Not
there you
pretty.
go. Let us know who you think's going to win. Tennessee fans specifically, weigh in, please.
Yeah,
Had a
Big
lot
Blue
of
Nation,
fun
I need
doing
you.
this.
I need you this week.
The trash talk will continue throughout the week. I'm sure we're toying with a little different idea. I won't put it out there yet till we make an executive decision, but you will hear from us plenty this week. Best way to do that, hit the subscribe button. That's a like. It's free. Hit the like button. That helps us, and tell a friend. For Blake Lovell, Max Barr, and Chris Lee, we're Southeastern 14, presented by BetOnline.